Ali Batmaz beat Hasan Güzeler. No, Suleiman Baysar beat Güzeler, and Mustafa Taz defeated Tolgaturan. Ali Yanatma beat Onur Susuz to place himself inside the
We'll
added
see how the rest unfolds together. The added 8 race is right at its tipping point now. Every remaining result could move a wrestler in or out of Kirkpinar.
Hep birlikte göreceğiz.
If Kemal Sahin can beat Semih Turgut, then Ali Yanatma, sitting 7th, steps firmly into the 8th. Kemal Sahin has 4 points, with the chance to reach 6 and keep going.
There are still plenty of points to be won here at Sekapark. Kemal Sahin has the chance to climb to 6, and with it, the chance to keep advancing by beating Semih Turgut. The math stays open.
Feyzullah Akturk and Mehmet Yesil Yesil, Enes Dogan and Osman Kan. Those matches continue, and they're still reviewing the SUSUZ position. No announcement from VAR yet.
They're still examining the SUSUZ position, and I'm in favor of continuing. From our angle, at least, I'd let it go on. It's a beautiful camera view, but it's genuinely close. A hard call for the tower.
Kemal Sahin defeats Semih Turgut. Semih Turgut stays on 6 points, out of the added 8. Kemal Sahin lifts his points to 6 and continues on.
So Kemal Sahin stays on 6 points, still outside the added 8. But he's the only one of these contenders still advancing. One Basbalivan remains in the hunt. The big advantage is now with Ali Yanatma.
8 points may now be enough, depending on what Kemal Sahin does next round. The big advantage right now sits with Ali Yanatma. He's already placed himself inside the 8. Ismail Koc wins. After a ferocious neck lock, he caught Yusuf Can Zeybek, trapped him, pressed him down, blocked him completely. The prince of Turkish oil wrestling moves on.
Ismail Koc draws an extraordinarily powerful neck lock. Look at that boyunduruk. Then he brought him straight down. My master Sabahattin Kengel used to say it, a neck lock is half the match.
My master Sabahattin Kengel used to say a neck lock is half the match, half the whole battle. A truly valuable boyunduruk from Ismail Koc. And Zeybek finishes Sekapark on 3 points.
Sekapark yağlı güreşlerini. Feyzullah Akturk ve Mehmet Yesil Yesil arasındaki mücadele devam ediyor. Seckin Duman, Yunus Emre. O da bir başka sonucu merakla beklenen karşılaşma bölünmüş ekranımızda yerini almış durumda. Onur Susuz kazandım iddiasıyla kenara gidiyordu.
Yanlış bir karar verilir.
Yaptığı müsabakasında.
Her ikisi de bizim kardeşimiz.
Rain-heavy clouds have begun to sprinkle the field at Sekapark, with the wind picking up too. They mustn't drag out these reviews. A quick decision is healthier for everyone.
But Faruk, they really shouldn't drag it out. They need to make the decision quickly. That's healthier. It heads off the disputes far more effectively. Especially before Kirkpinar.
Furkan Durmus Altin arasındaki müsabakada Onur Susuz mu galip ilan edildi? Müsabaka devam edecek mi? Halen incelemeler yapıldı ve açıklamada bulunuyor. Görebildiğim kadarıyla kule hakem heyeti.
Feyzullah yalnız bir açık bekliyor Mehmet Yesil Yesil ustasının. Onun da kontra hücumları meşhur Mehmet Yesil Yesil'in. Atak yapan, dalan Feyzullah Akturk mü yoksa kontra hücumla üzerinden atlayan ya da yanlardan koltuk altı geçişleri arayan bakalım Mehmet Yesil Yesil mi ustalığını konuşturabilecek mi?
And Seckin Duman has beaten Yunus Emre Yaman. Kocaeli Metropolitan Municipality's Basbalivan, Seckin Duman, into the last 16. Here are the closing moments.
Look at that finish from Seckin Duman, magnificent. He opened him right up. Seckin Duman has won. Into the last 16.
And there it is, Feyzullah Akturk circled, pressed down and pinned his teacher Mehmet Yesil Yesil. The winner is Feyzullah Akturk. One victory after another in this last 16 round.
Harika.
Açmış. Evet.
Seckin Duman kazandı. Feyzullah Akturk. Ardı ardına galibiyetler geliyor.
Feyzullah Akturk pressed down with ease. He'd already shown the signs of this during regulation time. This is a wrestler in complete command of his form.
On the SUSUZ review, the tower should have decided without dragging it out, I believe. You head off the arguments that way. A long VR review before Kirkpinar helps no one.
diye düşünüyorum. Tartışmaların önüne bu şekilde daha etkili geçebilir diye düşünüyorum.
Yalnız Feyzullah Akturk.
Feyzullah Akturk, let us simply say Masawa. He keeps shining and shining. Against a Mehmet Yesil Yesil so balanced, so closed off, he found the one needle's eye gap and drove through it. And there's a tremendous match in the alti division too. Kerem Kahya beats Reza Durmus to write his name into the last 16. We move into the fourth round, the last 32 wrestlers.
We're into the fourth round now, the last 32. Kemal Sahin sits ninth. One Basbalivan remains pushing for the added 8, and the window is closing fast.
Baş pehlivan kaldı.
Semih Turgut, who was pushing for the added 8, is eliminated. Menderes Saltik eliminated. Okan Yavuz, who began inside the 8, ends outside it. Ali Gurbuz placed himself within. Kemal Sahin continues on 6 points.
Tura organizasyona ilave 8'in dışında kalarak son verdi. Ali Gurbuz kendisini ilk 8'e attı, ilave 8'e attı. Kemal Sahin yoluna devam ediyor. 6 puana ulaştı.
Onur Susuz Furkan Durmus Altin karşılaşması da devam ediyor.
The SUSUZ Furkan Durmus Altin match continues. The tower didn't take that responsibility onto itself. Before Kirkpinar, that's a very sound decision. They couldn't separate the shoulders
The
on
tower
review.
didn't take that responsibility onto itself, and before Kirkpinar, I think that's exactly right. They couldn't separate the shoulders even after a long review, so they made the correct call, wrestle on.
In Ünal Karaman against Tanju Cemasai, a mischance there. Those are Tanju Cemasai's favorite positions. Catch him in the cradle twist, and he doesn't forgive. Both are already through to
Tanju
Kirkpinar.
Cemasai, those cradle twist positions are his home ground.
Yazdırmış durumda.
Catch a wrestler there and he doesn't let go.
Şahin bakalım bir üst
Both he and Ünal Karaman have already written their names into Kirkpinar. This is for seeding now.
The Enes Dogan, Osman Kan match, at a high level of concentration, each waiting for the other's opening. They show each other enormous respect. Enormous respect.
Büyük boy, küçük orta küçük ve küçük orta büyük boy pehlivanları çok acele pehlivan giriş kapısına geliniz.
This blessed rain has a slant to it, like a scythe coming from the side, with the wind.
Yani evet,
It's not too heavy.
rüzgarla birlikte.
But my own trial with the umbrella has begun, in the middle of commentary.
Önlemimizi aldık.
The blessed rain has a certain slant to it, coming at us sideways with the wind, like a scythe. It's not heavy, but we've taken our precautions all the same.
Tokyo'da.
The most famous one was in Tokyo, at the Olympics. When Meek Gazoz won the archery gold. How lucky I was to be there, with my umbrella. Except that day the sun came out, and today it's the rain.
And Enes Dogan misses there. Osman Kan made the move, but Dogan slipped it. Osman Kan is good in those positions. And the Mustafa Dogan Ozkaya, Ertugrul Dagdaviran match is very lively.
Birer karşılaşması çok hareketli.
Bu arada Özür dileyerek düzeltme yapmak isterim. İsmail Koc 2021 yılında pandemiden hemen sonraki yılda Ali Gürbüz'de Kirkpinar'da final yapmıştı.
Thank you for watching.
O seviye.
There are only 20 days left until Kirkpinar. You can imagine for yourselves how much more Ismail Koc will add to his game. Feyzullah Akturk, Ismail Koc, Mustafa Dogan, genuinely formidable.
Hakikaten.
But it must be said, the psychology of Kirkpinar is very, very different. Some wrestlers are trainers, some are competitors, some shine in the season's matches. But Kirkpinar, on the day, has an atmosphere all its own.
Some are trainers, some are competitors. Some are excellent in the season's matches, but Kirkpinar, on the day, has an entirely different atmosphere. There are wrestlers whose performance doubles, even triples, when they step onto that grass.
O çayıra çıktığında, adım attığında 2 kat 3 kat büyüyebilen performansa sahip pehlivan.
SUSUZ reached for the paka, missed. Furkan Durmus Altin couldn't press it home, recovered well. SUSUZ wrestles as if he never spent an hour and a half on the field yesterday.
Sanki 1,5 saat müsabaka yapmamış gibi mücadele ediyor. Ya, ben mi?
Ama bir sıkısını attı. Bir sıkısını attı.
In moments like these, you get one chance, maybe two. Miss it, and the alarm bells can ring immediately. Seckin Duman does this superbly. He converts his one chance to a result every time.
When you get one chance in a position like that, maybe two, and you miss it, the danger bells can ring at once. Seckin Duman is superb at this. His one chance becomes a result. And when he misses, well, masala.
Sert bir elense Tanju Gemici'den. Bir de tırpan denemesi. Yine bir elense Tanju Gemici. Paçaya yöneliyor. Final Karaman.
Çok acele pehlivan gidiş kapısına geliniz.
Az önce Ramazan Toksöz hocamın söylemiş olduğu gibi
As Ramazan said, the moment you step onto the Sarayasai field at Kirkpinar, your heart leaps from your chest. But on that grass, the Caucasian Eagle, Ali Batmas, he enters like a master. That's his
As I was
field.
saying, when you step onto the Sarayasai field at Kirkpinar, your heart leaps from your chest. But the Caucasian Eagle, Ali Batmas, enters that field like he was born on it. I see him as the strongest of this young generation.
Furkan Durmus Altin's pressure. He got behind for an instant. The referee brings the match to a reasonable spot on the field. And Mustafa Dogan Ozkaya is winning his match.
Makul bir noktaya çekiyor er meydanında müsabakayı. Karşılaşmanın hakemi Onur Susuz Furkan Durmus Altin müsabakasını bu arada. Müsabakayı kazanıyor.
Mustafa Dogan Ozkaya defeats Ertugrul Dagdavar, and there was a huge physical difference. The shorter, lighter man beat the far taller, heavier one. The moment he caught the paka, he never let go. He drove him down.
Ağır Ertuğrul Dağdeviren üstünlük sağladı işte. Bitirici hamlesi bu şekildeydi. Paçayı yakaladığı an bırakmadı. Sonrasında sürdü rakibini. Ertuğrul Dağdeviren adeta yıka yıka devrildi.
Bu şekilde yenmesi de Mustafa Dogan Ozkaya'ya,
Known as Arap Mustafa, the Iron Chickpea, Mustafa Dogan Ozkaya, I congratulate him once again. Despite the physical disadvantage, he defeated Ertugrul Dagdavar.
Known as Arap Mustafa, the Iron Chickpea, Mustafa Dogan Ozkaya, I congratulate him again. Despite the size disadvantage, he beat Ertugrul Dagdavar. The moment he caught the paka, he never released it. He simply drove him down.
Enes Dogan has buried himself into the Kasnak, and Osman Kan is struggling to escape. This is a genuine test of wills between two wrestlers who know each other completely. Osman Kan, like Ali Gurbuz before him, having beaten a huge name, is now wrestling hard to reach the last 16 in Sunday's finals. For it to mean something, He drew a very difficult opponent in Enes
Osman
Dogan.
Kan, like Ali Gurbuz before him, has beaten a major name, and now wrestles hard to reach the last 16 in Sunday's finals. For that win to truly mean something, he drew a very tough opponent in Enes Dogan. A
The
demanding
9
path.
Basketballivers still alive in the added 8 picture. Susuz, Serhat Elvin, Hasan Güzeler, Tanju Cimisay, Suleiman Baysar, Ünal Karaman, Ali Yanatma, and Kemal Sahin. 5 of them already guaranteed.
Beşi garantilemiş durumda.
Evet.
Şöyle ki Kemal Şahin'in şimdi kazanarak en az 8'e hatta belki 9 puana ulaşma ihtimali var. Ünal Karaman, Ali Yanatma ayrıca onlar da 8 puandalar ve yollarına devam ediyorlar. Kemal Şahin eğer 9 puana ulaşacak olursa Tolga Turan'ı ilk 8'in ilave 8'in dışında tutabilir. Dışarı atabilir. Ali Yanatma'nın bu performansına bağlı, Kemal Şahin'in bu performansına bağlı bu durum gerçekten çok ilginç bir.
Evet.
3. tur bizi bekliyor.
Son
Yoluna devam edenler açısından,
son
Kemal Şahin
virajdalar.
açısından evet. Yani bu tur belli kesinleştirmedi ama netleştirdi.
Evet. Katılıyorum.
A single dive from the left, Furkan Durmus Altin lifted him, missed.
Kaçırdı.
He opened up the angle but couldn't finish. SUSUZ always has a plan B against every opponent, just like the great ones.
Mutlaka bir B planı var her rakibine karşı olduğu gibi.
Enes Doğan da çok hareketli. Osman Kan karşısında paçaya doğru yönelmişti ama tam hamleyi yapamadı. Tamamlayamadı.
Ölüp ölüp dirilen bir stili var Onur Susuz'un. Maşallah diyorum.
Osman Kan has one move left. Can he find that angle? But Enes Dogan, raised in the foundations of oil wrestling, has closed every door. When you find the kasnak in this sport, you hold the advantage.
Enes
Always.
Dogan, raised in the foundations of oil wrestling, has closed every door.
Ama
Osman Kan will want to pry one open, but while he waits for that, Dogan can finish from the paka or the kasnak. Finding the kasnak in this sport is, with rare exceptions, always the advantage.
Avantajlı durumdadır.
her zaman tabii ki.
3 matches remain in the third round, all 3 on your screen. 15 minutes of this segment has now passed. SUSUZ, Durmus Altin, Dogan, Osman Kan, Karaman, Cimisay, all still live.
Furkan Durmuş Altin, Onur Susuz'un mücadelesinde %51 Furkan Durmuş Altin, %49 Onur Susuz. Enes Doğan mücadelesinde de %51 Enes Doğan, %49 Osman Kan. Ünal Karaman, Tanju Gemici mücadelesi %50-%50. İki tarafa da güreş gidip gelebilir.
Furkan Durmus Altin is the livelier, fresher wrestler, but it could end at any moment. And there, SUSUZ drove in beautifully at the waist. And SUSUZ, before I can even say it's over.
Ve işte
Onur Susuz
SUSUZ wins again. He keeps marching on. First, Orhan Okulu. Now Furkan Durmus Altin. SUSUZ defeats them both. It's not over till I say it's over, he told us. And he proved it.
Nearly 2 hours of wrestling across these rounds for Onur Susuz, and he said it himself, it's not over till I say it's over. After the waist entry, he went into a cradle series, broke the balance, and brought Furkan Durmus Altin down. Remarkable
Nearly
resolve.
2 hours on the field across these rounds for SUSUZ. And he said it himself. It's not over till it's over. He went into a cradle series after the waist entry, broke the balance, and brought Durmus Altin down.
usta çırağı kızar. Kemal Yılmaz'dan da çekeceği var bu karşılaşma sonrası. Furkan Durmuş Altin'in.
SUSUZ wins here are genuinely valuable for Turkish wrestling. A wrestler, especially in individual sport, must never abandon the psychology of victory. Until your hand is raised, you are still a partner in the match. SUSUZ
These
embodies
wins
that.
from Susuz are genuinely valuable for Turkish wrestling. A wrestler must never abandon the psychology of victory, especially in an individual sport.
Ta ki
Until your hand is raised, you remain a partner in the match. Susuz refused to give up until the very last instant.
Furkan Durmuş Altin mücadelesi bunun bir örneği. Son ana kadar vazgeçmedi. Her iki baş pehlivana da ithar bence geç kalınmış bir
Kesinlikle katılıyorum.
Ben kolay kolay kule hakemlerini asla eleştirmem. Onlar bizim kırmızı çizgilerimiz, MHK üyelerimiz. Ama hakikaten bu ikili çok da pasif kaldıkları için değil, mücadeleye girmeleri noktasında birer itiharla bakın güreş hemen hareketlendi, öyle değil mi?
Büyük boy pehlivanları çok acele pehlivan giriş kapısına. Bakalım. Evet, bakalım. Saygıdeğer güreşseverler, değerli konuklarımız, Türkiye'ye yanlı güreşin görüldüğü etabı olan 18 için altı kemesi Sekapark, yanlı güreşçilere.
All day I've called this the final dress rehearsal before Kirkpinar, but our fans ask, are there no other events left before then? There certainly are.
Kirkpinar'a kadar başka son sözünü söyleyecek şans bulabilecek organizasyonlar yok mu? Elbette ki var.
On Saturday, June 20th, at Feyzullah, where the legend Ahmet Tasay began wrestling, where I began, and the village tied to Olympic champion Gazanfer Bilge. The festival under the slogan, The Road to Kirkpinar runs through
On
Feyzullah.
Saturday, June 20th, at Feyzullah, where the legendary Ahmet Tasay began, where I began, the village of the late Aydin Demir and tied to Olympic champion Gazanfer Bilge, the festival under the slogan, The Road to Kirkpinar runs through Feyzullah.
And Ali Gurbuz and Orhan Okulu will both take part there. One final tune-up before Kirkpinar. Ismail Balaban will be there too. I wanted to share that with our wrestling fans.
Değerli güreş severlerimiz.
And Ali Gurbuz, Orhan Okulu, and Ismail Balaban will all wrestle there, one last tune-up before Kirkpinar. I wanted to pass that on to our valued wrestling fans. The road never truly pauses.
Ayrıca Karakucak Dünya Şampiyonası da yaklaşıyor. Faruk Utkan geçen yıl birlikteydik. Kahramanmaraş'ta Feyzullah Akturk'ün ağır sikletteki şampiyonluğunu anlatmıştık.
The Karakucak World Championship is also approaching. On August 15th and 16th, in Niksar, Tokat, 15 nations competing, broadcast right here on TRT Spor Yıldız.
We were together last year in Kahramanmaraş for the Karakucak Worlds. We covered Feyzullah Akturk's heavyweight championship there. The Turkey Championship begins July 12th in Niksar, Tokat, and only the champions advance to the World Championship on August 15th and 16th.
Ve sadece birincilerin, şampiyonların Dünya Şampiyonası'na katılacağı tarih 15-16 Ağustos. Türkiye Geleneksel Güreşler Federasyonumuz liderliğinde ve Ankara Keçiören Belediye Başkanımız Sayın Doktor Mesut Özarslan ile birlikte 15-16 Ağustos'ta Dünya Karakucak Şampiyonası'na tam 15 ülkenin bu dağda yükselebilir katılımıyla yine Türkiye Cumhuriyeti'nin en prestijli kurum olan TRT Spor Yıldız ekranlarında değerli güreş severlerimiz Karakucak Dünya Şampiyonası'nı takip edecekler.
The Enes Dogan, Osman Kan match is slowly coming to a resolution. So is the Tanju Jimisai match. A dive there, but it stayed wide. In hotter weather, this would have broken open long ago.
In hotter weather this would have broken open long ago. The cool air keeps these matches alive longer, though I hope no one gets injured. These conditions aren't one's athletes love, injury-wise. A cold, wet field changes everything.
Aslında sevmediği havalar sakatlık bakımından.
Tabii ki bizim de Dünya Kupamız Kirkpinar'a daha 20 gün kaldı. Çok kısa bir süre.
My own view, Ali Gurbuz said his farewell too early. Had he wrestled hard to the semi-final or quarter-final, he might have built his form a notch higher heading into Kirkpinar. That's my own opinion.
I'm speaking hypothetically about Ali Gurbuz, so I don't dwell on it too much. But had he wrestled on to the quarter or semi-final, he might have raised his form a notch before Kirkpinar. Then again, maybe an injury would have come instead. That's the other side of it.
Yapsaydı, varsayım üzerine konuşuyorum.
Ben çok ona takılmıyorum aslında.
Evet.
But Ali Gurbuz lost to Osman Kan at the Sanbei leg. And look what he did at the next Man of God. That wave-like, up-and-down form is possible. I don't see this as a decline. It was a high-level match. We congratulate the winner, Osman
I don't
Kan.
see this as a decline for Ali Gurbuz. It was a high-level match. We congratulate the winner, Osman Kansas. There are basketballers who lift their form the more they wrestle. Tanju Cemisay, Ismail Koc, Vertebral Dagdaviren, Ali Isen Batmaz.
Bazı baş pehlivan
Staying on the field grows them.
form grafiğini yükseltir ya. Belki biraz daha fazla güreş yapsaydı diye düşündüm.
O daha çok yükseliği baş pehlivanlarımız işte Tanju Gemici gibi, düzeltiyorum İsmail Koç gibi, Ertuğrul Dağdeviren gibi, Ali İhsan Batmaz gibi baş pehlivanların hep sahada kaldığı sürece üstüne performanslarını artıracak kapasiteye ulaşabiliyorlar.
Enes Dogan could have gotten behind Osman Kan for an instant, but Osman Kan didn't give him that chance. Some wrestlers, like Tanju Cemisay, Ismail Koc, Ali Isen Batmaz, raise their form the longer they stay on the field.
Az önce ifade ettim, bizim de Dünya Kupamız Kirkpinar dedim ama tabii ki Kirkpinar'dan, Dünya Kupası'ndan çok çok kıymetli.
Of course, Kirkpinar is far more valuable to us than any World Cup. It's our ancestral inheritance, our Turkish Islamic sport. But we'll feel great excitement for our national football team too.
Sabah
Tomorrow morning at 7, we'll be in front of TRT1.
TRT 1.
Best of luck to our boys.
Şimdiden bizim çocuklara başarılar diliyoruz. Avustralya mücadelesinde Amerika Birleşik Devletleri'nin Paraguay yenmesi sonrası karşılaşmada ilginç hale aldı. Biz kazanırsak artık neredeyse bir üst turda değil diyebiliriz. Şimdi o birer galibiyet.
İnşallah.
Sonrasında bir beraberlik bile yetecek belki de. O da belki de Amerika karşısında olacak.
These oil wrestling matches won't clash with the World Cup football tomorrow, a happy coincidence. And there's Tanju Cemisay, into the last 16, the pride of Kocaeli.
Ne güzel. Tanju Gemici.
Evet, Kocaeli Büyükşehir Belediye Başkanımız Doçent Doktor Tahir Büyükakın'ın arslanı, gözbebeği Tanju Gemici son 16'da.
Şimdi Ünal Karaman 8 puanla ilave 8'de tamamladı ama Kemal Şahin'in de 8 hatta 9 puana ulaşma fırsatı var. Bu 3-8'liden 3-8 puanı bulunan baş pehlivanlardan Ünal Karaman, Tolga Turan, Ali Yanatma da 8 puanda ama yoluna devam ediyor. Geride kalma ihtimali var onların. Tabii Ali Yanatma için ipler elinde. Şimdi Ali Yanatma bir sonraki tur müsabakasına çıktı kazandığında yoluna devam edecek.
Net.
Kemal Şahin kazanırsa yine yoluna devam edecek ama nereye kadar sürecek bu? Artık
The gap is narrowing now in the added 8 race. But as I said, by the end of today, before tomorrow's finals, it should be settled. Kemal Sahin will be the decisive factor. His result determines who
The
falls
scissors are
out.
closing in the added 8 race.
şimdi o ilave 8
Among the 3 on 8 points, Ünal Karaman, Tolga Turan, and Ali Yanatma. Yanatma holds the rope in his own hands. He advances if he wins his next match.
Düşerlerse kayboluyor.
If Kemal Sahin reaches 9, one of the others could be pushed out.
O ilave
sıralama sadece yani
O kadar.
artık belli. Şöyle ki netleşmiş durumda. Kemal Şahin belirleyici olacak.
Evet.
Alacağı sonuç eğer yürüyorsa, yürümeye devam ederse Ünal Karaman ya da Tolga Turan'dan biri veda edebilir.
Baş pehlivanlarımızın Puanlama güreşinde birinci sırada olacak.
30 minutes complete, an hour of match time now behind us in this segment. The Turkish Traditional Wrestling Federation president will speak shortly. The wind is making itself felt now, with the rain clouds scattering their drops.
30 minutes complete, an hour of match time now behind us. The Federation president will speak with us shortly. The wind has truly taken hold, scattering the rain clouds drops across the field.
Rüzgar da etkisini iyice hissettirmeye başladı. Yağmur yüklü bulutlardan getirdiklerini bize serpiştiriyor. Uzaklarda bir yerde İzmit'te, Kocaeli'nde yağmur yağdığını rahatlıkla söyleyebiliriz.
Far off in Izmit, in Kocaeli, you can say it's clearly raining. And here, perhaps no downpour yet, but the wind is heavy. We've finally gotten cold in Izmit. We'll bring you the resolutions of these final matches very soon.
We've finally gotten cold here in Izmit. Where was the last time we got this cold, Faruk? Ordu, Ebasti.
İzmit'te de üşüdük.
Yes, Ordu, Ebasti.
Ramazan hocam.
But that cold was something else entirely.
Olay bastı da mı?
The conditions never stopped testing the wrestlers, or us.
Hem de nasıl?